Today I fucked up by not putting out the butter and letting my son commit a crime against breakfast. Last night I was too tired to do one simple task, put out a new stick of butter to soften for the morning. No big deal, right? Wrong. Around 2 a.m., my teenage son, blessed with the metabolism of a hummingbird on espresso, decided he needed waffles. He fires up the toaster, goes hunting for butter and finds a suspiciously wrapped stick in the fridge. Foil wrapped, rectangular, solid. His brain, running on fumes and gamer energy, goes butter. Spoiler, it was vegetable shortening. Just pure, flavorless, ghost white grease. But did he hesitate? Nope. He slathered it all over those waffles, poured syrup on top like nothing was amiss, and ate every bite. The man had shortening and syrup on his waffles like it was totally normal. This morning he casually tells me, the butter was kind of flavorless last night, but the syrup covered it. I just stood there, horrified, while he walked away like some culinary war criminal. TIFU. And I may have raised a gremlin. TLDR forgot to put out butter. Teen son made 2 a.m. waffles, mistook foil-wrapped vegetable shortening for butter, ate it with syrup, didn't notice. Thinks bland butter is a thing now. Today I fucked up by trying to flirt with a guy at the gym and ending up in a full-blown CPR situation. So this happened yesterday, and I'm still cringing so hard I might never step into that gym again. I-22F recently started going to this new gym, and there's this insanely cute guy who works out around the same time as me. I've been trying to find the courage to talk to him for a couple of weeks. Yesterday, I finally decided it was time. I saw him doing deadlifts, and I thought, okay, casual compliment, easy in. So I walked by, smiled, and said, "Your lats are majestic." WTF? Majestic? What was I thinking? IDK, why I said that? I meant to say, "You're lifting a lot," or "nice form," or literally anything else. He looked confused, said, thanks. And I panicked and decided to just walk away and die in the locker room. While trying to speed walk away in embarrassment, I tripped over a medicine ball someone left in the way, my face planted into the floor, and I knocked the wind out of myself so hard I couldn't breathe for like 20 seconds. A trainer saw it happen, thought I was having a heart attack, and started actual CPR protocol before I could wheeze out, "I'm fine." That same cute guy helped hold my legs up while I got oxygen. Pretty sure I died inside. Anyway, now I'm the CPR girl at the gym. And yes, I still plan to go back, I cannot. TLDR tried to flirt with hot guy at the gym, said something incomprehensible, tripped, and ended up getting nearly resuscitated in front of him. Today I fucked up, and I'm the most embarrassed I've been. This happened last night, 22M. Matched with this girl on Hinge 21, and she seemed way out of my league, like one of those people who just radiates competence, you know? Her profile had this little line that said, "Ask me about my year in Paris," so I did. And she told me about how she studied abroad there and spoke fluent French, and casually asked if I spoke any too, and instead of just saying no like a normal human being, I said mais oui, because it sounded charming in my head with the help of good old Google too. She laughed and that should have been the end of it. But my dumbass ego decided to double down and convince myself that I could fake it enough to sound cultured or at least mildly impressive. So I spent the next 2 days cramming French like I was studying for the final exam of a class I forgot. I was even taking watched YouTube videos, listened to pronunciation guides, practiced little phrases in the mirror, and even downloaded Duolingo. Like it was going to magically make me fluent overnight. Date night comes and she picks this wine bar that's super cozy and low-key candles. Soft jazz velvet chairs, the kind of place where you feel underdressed no matter what you wear. She looked amazing. We start talking and she's telling me all about Paris and how she misses hearing French all the time. And I think, okay, this is the moment. This is where I show off my skills. So I look her dead in the eye and say, "Je suis très baguette." I used Google Translate, whatever. She laughs hard and I'm thinking I nailed it, and I'm absolutely crushing this date. So then I try to keep the vibe going and say what I thought meant. I like red wine, which was "J'aime le vin rouge de la bibliothèque." Except, yeah, apparently that means I like red wine from the library. She just looks at me confused and says, "Wait, what?" I repeat it and try to act like I meant it, and she blinks a few times and says, "Why the library?" That's when I realize I'm in deep. I've overcommitted and I've got nothing left in the tank, so I start stringing together any French words I remember from Duolingo, which basically amounts to fromage. Très bien, le chien est sur la table. Now she's just staring at me like I've glitched. And then she suddenly switches into full speed, actual French, like she's testing me, and I instantly regret everything. I have no clue what she's saying. I catch like 2 words and just panic smile and start nodding and going, oui, like a complete moron. I probably said oui 5 times in a row. Then she stops mid-sentence and goes in English. You don't speak French, do you? I pause, try to think of a lie or an excuse or literally anything. But all that comes out is not even a little bit, and then just starts laughing, like full-on laughing, and I'm sitting there feeling like an idiot while I'm redder than a tomato by the second. She ends up paying for the wine, which made it even worse somehow. Like I felt like a little kid who just got babysat by someone way cooler. I probably shouldn't worry about that part too much, but it just adds salt to the wound since I enjoy providing. As we're leaving, she says text me when you learn a sentence that doesn't involve libraries. I texted her letting her know I'm on Duolingo. Most embarrassing date ever, and it's my fault. So yeah, TIFU by trying to impress someone with a language I absolutely do not speak, and got roasted into oblivion in a velvet wine bar. TLDR tried to impress a Hinge date by pretending I spoke French. Blurted out nonsense phrases like, I like red wine from the library. She called my bluff by speaking real French. I panicked and said oui 5 times. She laughed, paid the bill, and told me to text her when I could form a sentence that made sense. Edit. Not sure how to add a flair after I made the post. Sorry, mods. Today I fucked up by mistaking hair in the shower. So a few weeks back I went away for the weekend. When I came back home, I went to take a shower and I noticed a thick black strand of hair in the shower. I live with my boyfriend. It was too long to be his and too dark and thick to be mine. He showers twice a day, so it didn't seem likely a hair from my head had stayed in the shower like that for days. Still, I know he never rinses the shower before after. It had the same curl pattern as my hair and was about the right length, but I had never seen a hair from my head look like that. My hair is very fine. I even pulled out some strands of my hair to compare, and this hair was way thicker and darker. My first thought was his sister, who has dark, wavy hair, used our shower as she'd been over, but she didn't. Obviously, I considered he was cheating and brought some dark-haired beauty into our shower. I made the immediate decision to trust my boyfriend and not confront him, as that hair could have ended up in the shower for a number of reasons. Even still, I took the hair and set it aside. For the first few days after, I scoured that shower and our bed looking for any signs of someone else. Eventually, I mostly forgot about it, but I thought about it from time to time and was even self-congratulatory for being such a trusting girlfriend and never questioning him. Today, I was in the shower again and noticed a particularly thick strand of hair on my head. I pulled it out, and it was a dark, thick strand of hair that exactly matched the other one. It was from my own damn head the whole time. I am so thankful I never confronted my boyfriend and trusted him completely. I just thought it was weird, and turns out I'm a dummy. TLDR, I found a strange hair in the shower after being out of town and wondered if I'd been cheated on. It was my own hair. Today I fucked up by wearing my AirPods to a job interview and forgetting they had a mic. This happened a couple days ago, and I'm still cringing thinking about it. I had a Zoom interview for a remote position. It was full-time, had benefits, seemed like a solid opportunity, so I actually took the time to prepare. Had my notes, practiced my answers, even changed into a decent shirt pajama pants, still made the cut though. So I'm sitting there waiting for the host to join, and I've got my AirPods in, like always. Didn't even think twice. Zoom said waiting for host, so I figured I had a minute to just relax. And for some reason, I started talking to myself out loud. Not loud, just kind of mumbling pep talk stuff like, okay, just be normal. You got this. Don't ramble. Smile. Pretend like you have it together. Then I muttered, you're not a mess. You just look like one right now. And that's when I heard it. Hey, we can hear you by the way. No rush though. Turns out the interviewer had joined silently and Zoom defaulted to my AirPods mic. So I had been broadcasting my little self-deprecating pep talk straight into the meeting. I froze. Couldn't even think of a recovery. Just awkwardly laughed, turned on my camera, and tried to power through like nothing happened. Interview went okay, I think. But now the HR guy definitely knows I'm running mostly on vibes and caffeine. TLDR, forgot my AirPods had a mic during a Zoom interview and accidentally gave the recruiter a live feed of my pre-interview meltdown. Today I fucked up by forgetting my sex toy cleanser on the bathroom counter. So I'm the proud owner of a sex toy. His name is Raphael, and it was given to me as a gift a few months ago. I needed to clean it, so I did it with no second thought. Washed it, dried it, and store it away in my room as always. Later today, my mother arrived home, went upstairs to presumably wash her hands, and called me immediately asking loudly, "Is this yours?" Oh no. Had I actually imagined I store Raphael away? My memory does wacky things all the time, so it wasn't impossible. I ran upstairs immediately, while my father looked at me puzzled from the kitchen. It's a small house, only to find my mother standing in the bathroom, pointing at the little open cleansing bottle that reads, "Cleaner liquid soap for sex toys." Oh yeah, sorry. I chuckled, embarrassed. I quickly took the bottle and its cap and ran to hide in my room, as I heard her loudly say, "Disgusting." A little later, she left for the hospital. She's taking care of a relative without looking at me in the eyes, leaving my puzzled father to repeatedly ask me, what was that about? And why is she so angry? I ended up telling him she had found an intimate soap. Nevertheless, it is a good question, why did she look so upset? And then it struck me the bottle was open. I could have left it like that, but she could have also picked it up. The bottle itself does say it's for sex toys, but the label's design is similar to one for face cleanser, and the soap has a very nice soft smell. Could she have tried to use it on herself? But wait, there's more. A few days ago she complained about back pain, so I, as a considerate daughter, bought her a massage gun, which she will receive tomorrow morning. Will she be able to look at me in the eyes? Will I be capable of keeping a straight face? We'll see soon enough. TLDR, I forgot the sex toy cleanser in the bathroom, and my mother found it. She might have used it, and tomorrow I'm gifting her a massage gun. Hooray! Today I fucked up by asking a patient their plans for Mother's Day. I work in a hospital as a phlebotomist. I draw people's blood and send it to the lab so that they can run tests on it. I had a lady come in, mid-20s, and she had a few tests in the system that I didn't recognize. Nothing special, there's 1.5 billion tests I don't know the meaning to. My job is to draw the blood, not run the tests on it. Now my job requires a lot of trying to calm down patients. People hate getting blood drawn, so it's my job to make them feel okay enough to let me poke them. With Mother's Day coming up this Sunday, I have been asking people what their plans are for the weekend. A little light-hearted questions to make the situation a little calmer. I asked this lady what she was planning to do on Mother's Day this upcoming weekend, and she absolutely burst into tears. Turns out she was getting blood drawn for tests following a miscarriage that she had had a few weeks prior. It would have been her first kid, and she lost the baby. She also saw my name tag and said my name was the name she was planning to name her kid. TLDR, a woman came in to get tests done following a miscarriage. I didn't know, and out of instinct asked her what she was planning to do for Mother's Day. Today I fucked up by naming my dog a slur. This is from a while back, but it definitely fits here. Back in 2023, my husband and I suddenly adopted a senior dog named Charlie. We aren't really for basic names like that, so we always said his name like Danny DeVito did, Charlie. It stuck so hard that we ended up renaming him to Cholly. Cholly was an amazing dog. We always corrupt our dogs' names into silly nicknames, and one or two kinda end up unofficially replacing their real name. From Rocky to Bubby, Penny to Peepers, Rosie to Posy, etc. While playing around with Cholly's name, I stumbled on Chollywog, like Pollywog, another name for tadpoles. And of course, while playing around with that, I shortened it. Come here, Wog. Who's my little woggy man? And boy, howdy, he loved it. It fit him so well, he was just woggy. I think my logic was that it sounded like wonky or soggy, which he definitely was. This went on for too long, until I casually mentioned it at Sunday dinner with my family, when my brother gives me a weird look and informs me that it's a slur for Indian people. I was crushed. Thankfully, I never put this name into writing aside from messaging my husband. I feel awful, but the name fits so perfectly in my ignorant little world. Perhaps I'm awful, but I still refer to him as that name when talking about him to my husband. We only had him for a year, but he was the specialist dog I've ever had. I miss my Cholly. TLDR, I lovingly named my dog a slur. Today I fucked up by leaving my mic on during a work call. Happened early in the morning today, and I'm still dying inside. So here's what happened. We had a big quarterly review meeting with the whole department and some of the executives. My presentation was first, So after I finished, I thought I hit the mute button and started making lunch while listening from distance. I accidentally dropped some of my food on the floor and started swearing. Only realized something was wrong when the call went completely silent. Turned out my mic was on the whole time and all 47 people heard everything. Here's when it gets funny, and how I am fully convinced that some stuff are just meant to be. The swearing happened exactly when the marketing director finished proposing a new project that would put more work on our team. My boss messaged me, "Check your mute button." I literally froze and had no blood circulating LMAO. After the meeting, he said that at first, when he read the draft before the meeting, he liked the new project, but he's going to reconsider it since it's going to cost the company a lot of money since we have to get some certifications first. And those trainings cost a lot, because we're like 12 people in our team only. So yeah, I'm still feeling some butterflies in my stomach, but what happened happened and life goes on, I guess. TLDR unmuted my mic, and then I dropped food and started swearing. And by doing all this, I accidentally got an extra project that was meant for our team reconsidered. Today I fucked up by re-traumatizing my husband during sex. My husband, 27M, and I, 30M, have had a rough year so far. He's always kept his mental health under control, but things took a turn around the new year, and he's been in and out of the psych ward ever since then. Naturally, between all the change and stress, our sex life has cooled off. Most of our focus has been on spending time together in nature or otherwise, and just trying to bring him back to center and get back in sync as a couple. This morning we were in bed and things started to heat up for the first time ever since he was discharged following a difficult weeks-long inpatient stay. I got on top of him and started kissing away while pinning his arms down. I guess I got carried away because I just said to him, "You escaped the ward just to get restrained again, huh?" I guess I thought it sounded hot in the heat of the moment. But he suddenly lost his composure and looked like he was about to cry. We talked it out, and he said that getting physically restrained in the psych ward while he was losing grip on reality was one of the most traumatic experiences of his life. He is still shaken up from my comment, which is not a good sign. Acute stress could set off another episode. Yep, bad call on my part. TLDR inadvertently killed the mood because I thought it would be hot to drop a spicy line during sex that played off my husband's trauma. Today I fucked up by failing to recognize a girl twice. I just want to preface that I am infamously face-blind. Just today I saw a woman I was convinced was my own sister. It was not. Anyways, I just started a new bartending job in my local town, very cushy. A new waitress started today who I thought was pretty cute. Long blonde hair, seemed very mellow and pleasant. I showed her the ropes, made light small talk, very pleasant overall. On my break, I get to talking to her a bit more, and I ask what she's doing for education. She tells me she's in her first year of college, like myself. So I ask, "Did you go to local high school I went to?" And she responds, "Yes, we were in the same year. We were in Miss Cotter's maths class together, remember?" Finally, it clicks that I've seen this girl around for the last 6 years or so. Back then, she had short, dark hair with long bangs, and we never spoke to each other, so I wasn't too hard on myself for not recognizing her. I apologized and we went back to work. Later, she offered to help me in my bar with just the two of us, had nice conversations and whatnot. I and all the other bartenders were chatting together as she left, and they only said goodbye to me, which I thought was cute. After she left, I wanted to find a photo of her from back then to compare to now, just for my own amusement. So I look up her Insta. My face when I realized I had slid into her DMs 6 goddamn months ago and we had chatted a little, and I never recognized her either fucking time. I didn't just fail to put 2 and 2 together, I failed to put 3 and 3 together. Currently cooking up a casual apology for tomorrow's shift. TLDR, I didn't recognize new coworker as a girl I went to school with for 6 years and then didn't realize it was the same girl I texted with a little 6 months ago. Today I fucked up by accidentally giving my students the movie worksheet answers. My 32M third period class was super stoked to watch The Maze Runner. I prepped observation worksheets and character development packets to keep them engaged during the movie. We got through the first 30 minutes and they were scribbling away at the first page of questions. Then, this one student 15F pipes up, "I think there's something wrong with this packet." Before I could even ask what was up, her buddy 17M snatches the character development packet from her and starts flipping through it. Turns out I had somehow managed to copy the answer key for page 1 of the movie observation questions directly into every single character development packet. The realization washed over me in a healthy dose of, "Oh, you absolute idiot." But honestly, they were so genuinely thrilled. So my slightly embarrassed self just shrugged and said, "Enjoy the free answers for the first part. Maybe actually pay attention for the rest of the movie, though." Part of me feels like I totally failed at the educational aspect of movie day, but another part of me is just hoping they'll at least absorb some of the plot. And hey, at least they're happy, right? TLDR, accidentally gave my high school English students the answer key to the first part of their Maze Runner movie worksheet. Decided to let them have the win and am now questioning all my life choices. Today I fucked up by telling my best friend X I still liked her. So basically I 17F made a post on Roth My Kest a few days ago about how I still liked my best friend X, 17F, who I broke up with 8 months ago for personal reasons, and how I felt horrible about how I just missed how close we both were before even dating, and how I didn't know what to do or how to go about it. After that post, I decided that I would talk to her about it, because it has been eating me up alive for the past 8 months, and today I decided to do it. I wrote a big message, a few paragraphs long, explaining how I felt, and how I wasn't trying to ask her out, because I wasn't trying to be selfish, but that I just wanted to be as close to her as before, like having sleepovers, sending each other TikToks, talking for hours on end like we used to before we even dated. I planned on telling her after school today, but ended up instead asking her to let me know when she finished playing Valorant completely so we could call, because I wanted to talk. I sent her the message while we were on call, and she took a few minutes to read it. And she straight up just said she needed to go piss, exactly like that. She then left for a while, and when she came back, she basically started making jokes out of it. One of the things that she said was, "I must be the hottest woman alive for you to love me this much." I stayed quiet, thinking that we would actually talk about it properly. But no, she continued, and it turns out that she was in fact still in-game and on voice chat with her online friends, and started joking around with them, saying, "Guys, I'm being confessed to by my ex. It's very romantic," and basically just started joking with them about the situation. I couldn't hear what they said, though since it was in-game, she was also texting someone else as well. I just said I had to go and then left the call. I obviously didn't expect her to still like me back or anything. I even said that in the message, but I didn't expect her to joke about it, to others nonetheless. I feel like she trampled all over my feelings and didn't even take me seriously. We didn't have a serious talk or anything, even though I asked her to let me know when she was completely free and done for the day, to be able to have a serious and proper conversation. I feel like shit, and I'm practically locked in my room crying my eyes out of, I'm being honest. I feel guilty, humiliated, hurt, angry. I feel like I've done something wrong or just ruined everything even more. I feel I just muck everything up and I don't know what to do. I feel like a mess. TLDR, I tried to have a serious conversation with my best friend about how I missed being close with her, and she joked about it to her online friends and didn't take me seriously. Today I fucked up. I damaged my wood flooring in my apartment. I am renting for the first time, and the previous renters left the place a little dirty, so I tried to clean the wood floors with what I had on hand, vinegar. It's been 3 months since I've moved in, and I've mopped a few times with vinegar. And I've realized that the wood floor has lost its shine and feels different than before. If I touch a part of the wood in an area that I did not mop, it has a noticeable smooth feeling, but the area I mopped is rough, and small parts feel a bit raised. How do I fix this? I've been looking up wood finishes, but a lot of them say they have a strong smell or take long to dry. My landlord lives above me, so he would smell any strong chemicals I would use, and I can't use something that takes 12 hours to dry, since that would prevent anyone from walking on the floor. I also am absolutely not going to be sanding anything or using chemicals to strip the previous finish off. I will mess that up somehow and make it worse. The quickest drying finish I could find would be shellac finish. I need something that is quick to dry without an overly strong smell that lingers. I can do it when my landlord is at work, so I'll have about 5 hours to open the windows to let the fumes out. Then I would be stuck with the smell the rest of the day. So I need a not strong-smelling wood finish that dryer fast. My landlord is supposed to do a check-in in about 3 weeks, so I need it fixed by then. I don't have the money to have this professionally done as well. How do I fix this and how to prep the wood without any chemicals or sanding? This is the second time I've done something stupid with vinegar, so I will be tossing it after this. TLDR, by mopping the wood floors with vinegar for 3 months and removing the finish. Today I fucked up by using a magic eraser to remove a bar stamp. So last night I went out to the bar, and as usual, once you pay the entrance fee, they give you a stamp to show you've already paid. I always put it below my palm on my wrist. Well, this morning, when I was taking a shower and was doing the usual by trying to rub it off with my hand, but that way always leaves some ink behind that will come off over the next couple days. I noticed I had left a Mr. Clean magic eraser in the shower from cleaning it the day prior and thought, hey, that'll get all the ink off quickly. And in my defense, it did remove all the ink with a bit of scrubbing, and I thought I was a genius. Well, a few minutes after getting out of the shower, I felt a stinging pain on my wrist, and when I looked, a bright red rash had appeared that hurts to touch. I tried putting lotion on it, but hours later it's still very red. The skin is raised, and anything that touches it stings. Update 2 days later, the redness is gone and the spot is healing. The skin is rough with some tiny blood speckles. As others have said, it wasn't a rash, it was red because I sanded a thin layer off my skin. Thanks for all the tips on how to remove stamp ink in the future. TLDR, don't clean your skin with a magic eraser. It'll leave a painful rash. Today I fucked up by reaching out to my former intern manager after disappearing without a trace for over a year. A year after I disappeared, I reached out to my former manager at an unpaid internship I did last summer. I interned for a small company for approximately 6 months last year, while also maintaining a regular full-time job. The manager I had knew that I had a full-time job. This internship was unpaid and part-time, so there was flexibility. Things started getting really busy with my FT role, and I don't know why. I didn't just admit that I was drowning in work between the 2 jobs, but instead I just disappeared. Prior to disappearing, I had a pretty good relationship with my manager, but as more time passed, I just didn't know how to reach out. The burnout didn't help either. Was it a bad idea to reach out to apologize? I hope they don't think I want anything from them. I genuinely just want to clear the air. TLDR reached out to the internship manager I ghosted for almost a year. Today I fucked up by wearing new shoes to a wedding and becoming an accidental sideshow. I went to a wedding 2 weeks ago. Not super formal, but fancy enough that I wanted to wear something decent. I had just bought new dress shoes a few weeks ago, finally grabbed a nice pair since I'd won a jackpot on stake slots, and figured why not treat myself a bit. What I didn't do was break them in. Rookie mistake. Cut to the wedding reception, I'm dancing, sweating, trying to keep up with my girlfriend's friends, who all apparently learned choreography off TikTok or something. Mid-spin, I feel my sock start to slip. Turns out, the back of the shoe was rubbing so badly that it shredded my sock and the back of my ankle. I mean blood, folks. Blood in the sock. Blood in the shoe. And because I kept dancing through it, drinks were flowing, vibes were up. I didn't notice until I sat down and left a little red smudge trail across the venue carpet. I died instantly when I saw it was trailing right back to me. Lucky the wedding was quite big, so not many people noticed, but those around me did. The bride actually came over to check if I was okay. I had to explain that no, I wasn't dying, I just didn't prep my shoes like a functioning adult. TLDR, wore brand new dress shoes I splurged onto a wedding. Didn't break them in. Ended up bleeding through my sock and almost onto the dance floor. Today I fucked up by realizing something wholesome about my husband's family. We were attending a wedding reception today of my husband's cousin and his bride. My husband and cousin were very close growing up, almost like siblings. It was a lovely event held in the groom's brother's large garden. I had to step back inside to the kitchen for a bit to make a bottle for my baby, and in there sat what is probably best described as a group of Asian aunties. Anyone who is Asian or related to such aunties will know very well how judgmental and filterless this brutal demographic can be, even the sweetest ones. This group included the groom's mother and aunts. I was trying my best to mind my own business, but overheard them discussing how plain the bride is. At first, I was really disheartened to hear these judgmental and superficial comments about a new family member as well. And the newlyweds obviously are very much in love and happy together. I wouldn't even call her plain, though I suppose the aunties were just proud of their son-of-you being handsome in comparison. Then I let my mind wander beyond that. I realized a trend pattern among most of the members of my husband's family. They are all quite good-looking in conventional terms, blessed with some good genetic lottery. but most, if not all of them, thinking of my husband. His siblings and their cousins, and it's quite a big family, have married or are dating people who are less attractive by appearance. I thought this was super wholesome because it shows that except for the elderly gossiping aunties, despite being good-looking themselves, they are not superficial people and choose their partners based on personality and love them for who they are, regardless of their appearance. It gave me a warm, fuzzy, how sweet feeling. And then realization hit, and I had definitely FU by thinking this far. I realized that I too have married into this family of good-looking people who marry less attractive ones. I am the plain, unattractive partner. I took the now-ready bottle of milk and went back to the garden party, defeated, humbled, and newly self-aware of where I stand on the attractiveness scale. TLDR TIFU, by realizing my husband's family is wholesome people who are conventionally attractive, but not superficial, and therefore have partners who are less conventionally attractive. And that I'm in that second group of people, and therefore must be not very attractive.